Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now the end of February of 2022, and as we get closer to the official release of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, a lot of Star Wars fans are also very excited for shows like The Bad Batch Season 2, Star Wars Andor, and yes, even The Mandalorian Season 3, before we head into the 2023 lineup of TV shows. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So it's even all the more exciting right now is that we have a lot of things that are in the pipeline by Disney, you know, not just with new TV shows, but also with new books, novels, comics, and video games, and new Star Wars movies and such. That's really going to all come together to make up this brand new Star Wars universe. And that's pretty much their overall plan, is that they really want to make everything interconnected in order to really kind of attach to the fans and really satisfy the fans. And that's their ultimate goal. You know, they really want to create a legacy for themselves now at this point in time to really make Star Wars better than ever before and to really kind of rebuild from the past. You know, what happened with the sequel trilogy movies, what happened with the solo films, and so on and so forth. Now, with that being said, of course, everything that has been happening behind the scenes over at both Disney and Lucasfilm has been quite expansive. We already know that they have tons and tons of new shows in the pipeline that will be announced at Star Wars Celebration this year, by the way, so we have just a couple of months to go until they are going to be announcing tons of new shows that will be related to animated material, live action material, whatever it may be. There is a lot of stuff coming our way for 2023 all the way until 2025, and more of those announcements will be unveiled also at next year's celebration. So with that being said, of course, what's really exciting is that with both Bob Chapek and George Lucas having in-depth conversations about the future of Star Wars, they are currently mapping out the entire roadmap of the Star Wars universe that is going to stretch out until the very end of the decade. Now, one major plan that both Lucas and Chapek have been putting together is, of course, the new trilogy of Star Wars films that are going to be separate from the fourth one. Now, this is set to continue the Skywalker saga and will give them a chance to end it once and for all on the big screen. Now, further, it's described that Bob Chapek and Lucas have been in conversations about this for the last number of months, and that this is set to bring in one of the special Skywalkers from Star Wars Legends, known simply as Cade Skywalker. Lucasfilm is planning to announce an episode 10 through 12 in the entire new trilogy next year at Star Wars Celebration, with the films bringing in multiple new villains to the Star Wars universe, such as Darth, Talon, and another mysterious Sith Lord, as well as the Yuzong Vong, that will come into play into the new movies. Now, in case you guys did not know much about Darth Talon, I do suggest that you guys go ahead and check out the character. It's a very well-written character in Legends, and it really is quite refreshing to hear that, you know, what Disney is essentially doing now is that they are going to prepare all of the canon material that's eventually going to appear in the form of movies, and how that's all going to be implemented into the version of books, novels, comics, video games, you name it, to boost the familiarity. We'll get into that in just a second. So further from all of that, it's described that there are extensive plans already out there to release a series of books called episodes 10 through 12 that will be connected to the movies once they arrive in order to get fans familiar with these new characters. Now, the first film is under the codename Project Legacy, which most likely is in reference to the Legacy comics that Cade Skywalker was based in many years ago. As for Darth Talon, Lucas already made some creative notes to create some design changes to the character in the official canon under Disney, however, nothing too extensive. Now, of course, this is where, you know, Lucas and other creators are going to be very careful with a character so detailed and so respected as this, is that there will be some minor changes to the character to kind of just differentiate this version of the character from Star Wars Legends, and that's kind of a smart idea. I will agree, that's kind of a smart way to go about doing it. You know, Lucasfilm already kind of did that with some of the Legends characters that came into fruition into the Star Wars canon. So it's really not all that big of a surprise, and it's really not all that big of a concern. But one thing is for certain is that with, of course, so many new Star Wars films in development, you know, we have a lot of standalone films, we have new trilogies on the way, we have new Star Wars TV shows. Essentially what Lucasfilm wants to do, what Disney wants to do, is that they want to make Star Wars just as big as Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that might sound a little off-putting to a lot of Star Wars fans out there. You know, some fans may believe, well, that's way too much material. People are going to get tired of Star Wars at that point in time. And what I would say is that people don't necessarily get tired of anything unless, you know, the quality of, you know, the projects, be it TV shows and movies, are really not all that well. As long as you really make quality material, that's when everybody's going to really just keep on wanting more and more. And that's exactly what Disney is trying to do as we speak. So moving on from all of this, now on top of that, the new films are also set to involve the sibling of Cade Skywalker this time around, who will be completely based off of Jaina Solo from the Star Wars Legends books. This time around she will go by the name of Jaina Skywalker, and that these two characters will be connected to both Rey and Ben Solo. Meanwhile, Lucas and Chapek are going to also have another side of the character, or another side of the Skywalker bloodline, one of which will be labeled as Luke's grandson in this series. Given that Luke Skywalker's son is set to become a part of the Mandoverse in the next couple of years, this is said to give Lucas and other creators the chance to explore Luke's descendant in this post-Episode 9 era that takes place many years later after Episode 9. As for the Yuzong Vong, however, even though they will be based from a different galaxy, the only major change is that they will this time around be based in a different time period than in Star Wars Legends. Now, the new movies are also set to feature the new Jedi Order and many new Jedi that are scattered across the galaxy, and that the Skywalker Academy is going to be a big deal in the new movies. Chapek is initiating this to give themselves one last chance to create 3 major films on the big screen that will deal with the Skywalker bloodline, as they have noticed the fans disliking the sequel trilogy over the years. So that's one thing to take note of here, specifically is the fact that they are going to be calling the new Jedi Order in this post-Episode 9 era simply as the Skywalker Academy. And I kind of love that. It really does respect the characters, it respects the bloodline, the legacy, whatnot, and you can see how it somewhat connects to everything that happens at the end of Episode 9, where Rey buries the lightsabers on Tatooine. We already know that one of the major temples, and I say one because they're going to be showcasing multiple temples across the galaxy, but one of the big temples will be based on the world of Tatooine this time around. And that's really going to be something unique for the fans, to show us a temple based on Luke and Anakin's home world. It just kind of fits thematically, it fits in a poetic sense, and it kind of just makes sense to me. But I get it. A lot of fans out there are probably going to be very, very bored about desert worlds and, you know, sand worlds and things around those lines. I understand that. So overall, the fact that we have Chapek and Lucas working things out right now, and how they're going to announce all of this in the summer or spring of 2023 next year, you know, that really does kind of give you a better idea of when it's going to release. It's looking more like the end of the 2020s, give or take, because we also have a lot of standalone films that are also in the works. So, like I say, guys, you know, let me know what you think about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.